I love you. He spoke, making you freeze at your spot. I love you, Ryan. I love you. The words, the confession you always wanted to hear from him. You never thought it would be like this, and this situation where you two were breaking apart as he walked near you, cupped your cheeks. You are the first and only love of my life. How can I? He stopped as he breathed. All I know is right now that I love you. Don't leave me like this, please. You can feel pain in his voice. Please. You are sniffing as you removed his hand from your cheeks gently. I really love you. I can't say that back to you. Not when you don't mean it. You shook your head. He felt like someone stole his heartbeat, and tears constantly dropped, and you stepped back while shaking your head. I can't. I can't. While taking steps backward, as you wiped your tears before turning your back to him, and you ran from there, and he dropped on his knees, and then quickly rushed to him. He cried out loudly while tears filled Taehyung's eyes too, looking at his condition, because this is the first time he's seeing him like this. Jungkook, brace yourself. He rubbed his back. I love her, Young. I love her. Please bring her back. I'll die without her, Young, please. He speaks while crying, and Taehyung pulled him in his embrace while trying to calm him. He confronted his father as he's looking at him with his dark eyes. Why did you do that? Mr. John Lear have a blank look. Don't question me. I'm your father, you are not my father, he replied nonchalantly. He slammed the flower pot on the floor, making Mr. John to glare at him as Jiwon spoke in between. Young, what is this? Cut it off at Jungkook. When two elders are talking, the younger ones do not interrupt. You will marry Sarah only, and that's my final decision, he bluntly said. Who are you to take my life decision? This is my life, and you can't control me. And Mr. John chuckled sarcastically. Now my son has grown up enough to question me, that who I am. The daughter-in-law of my house will not any be. Dad, he raised his voice, and Mr. John also lost his temper. Lower your tone, he replied with the same rage. I said what I said. Now what I said will happen. You will marry Sarah in coming week, he said, making Jungkook to make feast. Never. If I marry, I will marry Ryan only, he said, telling the final decision. The father and son looking at each other with same rage, and Jungkook decided to break and walk away as he is about to walk. If you go against me, you'll have to leave Jeon's empire. All your hard work of so many years will be wasted. Your dream to become biggest businessman, you have to crush it. Jungkook's steps halted, hearing his father's words that he never expected from him. As he looked at him in disbelief, also Taehyung, where Woojin smokes, and Jungkook walked near his dad. How can he stoop so low? He asked in disbelief. I will never let my family names be ruined. Either Sarah or no one. If not, then I'll disown you. Jungkook's anger builds up more. You can't take away my right to my hard work. Mr. John let out a dry chuckle. Choice is yours. I made my final decision. Saying this, he walked from the room. Your tears flowed down as you cried, silently hugging your knees as you looked at your phone. 15 missed calls from Jungkook and 100 plus messages. The time you left him, but then suddenly stopped calling you. His words echoed in your ears, making you cry more. and make you feel ancient as you feel like you are feeling suffocated. You yell with tears while covering your ear. Please stop, you cried more. Stop. Kim Wine is on leave, sir, he informed him while bowing. His face was expressionless, but inside he is fighting a lot with his feelings, and everything feels so messed up right now, and even could have expressed. So can I leave? Jungkook gave him a note without looking at him, and Max bowed and left the cabin. Jungkook shut his eyes, making a tear slide down from his cheek, and one face coming in front of him every time, which is making situation more difficult for Jungkook. And he doesn't know what he should do. He never felt this much helpless as much he is feeling right now. The choice he has given made things more difficult for him because he knows how hard he worked for it. And it was his dream to become successful, but now he is stuck because only he knows how much these things matters to him. But on other hand, he knows that he can't live without you. You became that part of his life which is inseparable. But sometimes it's hard to choose between love and your career. Please, just let me know that you are okay. Please. He mumbled looking at his phone. Please talk to me once, please. He mumbled with heavy thought as a tear slid down from his cheeks constantly. And when he felt a hand on his shoulder as he quickly wiped his tear and looked. Are you okay? She asked softly as you come for breakfast and your father and brother look in your direction. Yeah, avoiding the eye contact as you sit, but your brother asked. Why are your eyes are so swollen? He asked, making you look at your dad, but you smiled forcefully. Nothing. Maybe I didn't sleep properly at night, that's why. You replied, smiling forcefully. Are you okay? Why didn't you go to office today? He asked. Appa, just a little bit of headache, and today I have some work, so. You replied nervously, and he nodded. But then doorbell rings, grabbing everyone's attention as your mother said, I'll check. Your father nodded as she opened the door and front rose. Yes, she asked politely, but the man in front of him smirks. You don't know, but your daughter knows. Call her. Ryan, she called you, looking at him with a weird look as you come. Yes, your steps halted, looking at the person. What do you want, Jungkook? I don't understand anything. Jungkook looks at him, giving blank expression. I don't know. What I know right now is Ryan. I can go to any extent for her, he replied with a heavy throat. Taehyung understood what does he means as Taehyung walked near him. I don't know what you are thinking, but don't take any step that you might regret later. Don't forget how hard you worked to reach this level, and feelings are temporary. I love her. I love her so much that I can't even express, he instantly replied. With sadness clearly visible on his face and a kind of emotion in his eyes which are very strong, that he is holding so much inside that he didn't let him out right now. You'll destroy yourself, he spoke. You're right. I would be devastated if I lost her. He spoke with a sad smile. Jungkook took his car keys as he wiped his tears slowly, which slid down from his cheek, while Taehyung doesn't know what he should do because he knows how hard he worked for. Daughters should be controlled, otherwise or they get out of hands. You stood there controlling yourself while your brother made feast. Kim, explain to your daughter to stay away from my son, he said, looking at you while tears were in your eyes already and looking at him angrily. Why can't you handle your son that you come to tell to control my sister? He replied, making you surprised. You didn't expect this from him for sure, but he will react like this. were afraid that what they gonna do, but your brother's reaction made you a little surprised as you look at your father, but his expression didn't give you a good vibe, in which you are scared the most. And Mr. John let out the dry chuckle. You are man. You must know how a woman trap a man, right? He said with a dirty smirk, making your brother to lose his temper. Watch your mouth, he busted out suddenly as he walked near him. Keep your filthy thoughts and your son with you, and get out of here. Mr. John's expression changed. Speak up as much you can. Don't forget your status, otherwise the situation will be such that you probably cannot imagine, even in your worst dream, he replied. He looked at you last time and then walked from there furiously as you looked at your father being all scared as you clutched your dress tightly before walking near him. You disappointed me, your brother spoke out of blue as you looked at him controlling your tears. I'm sorry, Uppa. Your throat almost gone as you looked at your father who just stood there froze. Appa, you called him. Appa, I'm sorry. Cut it off as hard slap landed on your face, making your brother and mother to move quickly, but he stopped them. Appa, you can't. No one will interrupt today. I dare. Chen stood there. You looked at him sniffing badly as your father walked near, making you step backward. But Chen couldn't see his sister like this, so he tried to walk to his father, but Appa please, he didn't let him complete as his father slapped him too. Appa, it came out like whisper. I said no one will come in between, he warned him as he looked at you. We raised you to see this day, huh? He asked angrily. Aren't you ashamed? I give you the freedom, then you'll ruin my name, he asked, but you remained silent, lowering your head as you were crying silently. You will leave that job itself. Don't you dare to step out of this house, he said, making you look at him immediately. Oh, but you can't do this. What's my fault? You asked, being conscious as he glared at you. Don't talk back. Dare to step out of this house without my permission. Papa, I'm your daughter. You can't treat me like this, helplessly pleading, adding fuel to his anger. Whine as he raised his hand, making you shut your eyes tightly, making your brother to move in action quickly, but you heard a hard slap sound which echoed in the living room, but you never felt that slap. As you open your eyes widened as your heart dropped for a second looking at him. Jungkook. He looked at your father as your father was shocked a little bit but maintained his expression. You can raise your hands on her, uncle. He spoke very politely as your father looked at him. First the father comes to tell me to control my daughter, and now the son has come to tell me what to do with my daughter. He speaks sarcastically. If I said no, that means no. He speaks bluntly, making your father to glare at him. Jungkook, she's my daughter. Your daughter is something to me as well, he replied. What? She has nothing to do with you. She is the love of my life. She is my life, he speaks bluntly. Really? He chuckled sarcastically. Is it? Or you just played with her feelings, he asked. If you really loved her, then why did you let so many fingers raised on her? How you let your dad to question her character? How did you let tears come from her eyes? He asked, making Jungkook to make feast hearing new information. As he looked at you while you looked other side, wiping your tears, and he felt guilty for you, what you were facing because of him. As he walked near your dad, looked at everyone as he folded both of his hands in front of him. On behalf of my dad, I apologize to you all. Please forgive me if possible. He asked, pleading, and your tears dropped more. And Jungkook walked near you, making you more emotional. But then he kneeled down in front of you as he held both of his ears, and a loud sound left from your mouth, making his tears to drop. Mayan, he called you softly, making your tears to drop uncontrollably. I'm sorry for everything. I don't know how can I apologize to you. I don't know how to fix everything. I don't know. Please forgive me. And please come back. Come back to my life. Or let me come to yours. But don't separate yourself from me. Otherwise I'll die. And you shut your eyes tightly. Please don't do this. There's much pain in your voice. That's what I'm saying to you. Please don't do this to me. I'll promise this time I'll never leave you. Not this time. I will never disappoint you. I promise. You look at him with your teary eyes. You had promised me like this before too. And I'm already broke. Please don't break me more. Let me fix everything. Let me fix us. He asked, pleading, and you shook your head. Not again. You stubbornly shook your head. Please go. You said, breaking his heart into pieces. Please, Ryan. Almost verge of crying, and you know how hard it is for you to see him like this, but you don't want your emotion to take control over you. We can't be together. You step back while shaking your head, and his tears drops uncontrollably. You have taken this decision with a stone in your heart because you know how badly it is aching to see him like this, and much worse for Jungkook because he came with so much hope. You rushed upstairs, leaving Jungkook all in tears again, making him fail miserably this time. Jin looks at him, feeling guilty for him. He doesn't know why, but he saw pure love for her sister in his eyes as he walks near him before putting hand on his shoulder. You broke her. Jungkook looked at him and nodded slowly. You covered your mouth, controlling your sobs as your phone rings and you looked at the caller ID, sniffing badly, then attended, trying to calm yourself. We are over, you said with a sad smile while tears flowing down continuously. I'm sorry, he said, feeling guilty, and you feel like you can't speak more. Can we talk later, please? You somehow said. Sure. You're about to cut the call, but he spoke. Thank you, Ryan. He speaks while your tears flowed down and you just nodded. You cut the call and you opened Jungkook's contact with so much courage and you blocked his number. You don't know why it's hurting so much. You dropped yourself on the floor and cried. I'm sorry, Jungkook. I'm sorry. You mumbled, clutching your wrist. I love you. I really do, but I can't be your limitation. I can't be your enemy. You mumbled while crying. Yes, you made us special. You're very special to me and always be. You wiped your tears.